when we talk about gaming, game designing, we have to know about there are several categories, right? We can divide those games into several categories based on their characteristics and their behaviors. As I mentioned here, the first one is the first person type. First person type means in those kind of games, we can't see actually the player character. We can see the rest of the environment just just like in the real world. It's kind of fun, and the most of the users like to play those kind of games because of that stuff, and that it's kind of realistic for them. And when the as the developer's point of view, we can say when we are developing the first person games, it's bit easy rather than third person ones, because we don't need to focus on the player character. And as you guys can guess, the first person, the player character is the most closest thing we can see in the game. So we have to be more, we have to work on more about player character if we are doing, if we are going to show the player character as well. Yeah, as the examples, we can get that there are games like Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, like that things. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, the third person character, we can see the player character as well. So we have to work on more on the player character, and we have to work on more of the graphics for the player characters and the animations and lot more stuff. So it's a little bit hard rather than first persons. And as a personal point of view, I'm also like to play third person games rather than the first person ones because of this graphics quality and the thing. And yeah, in the most of games in nowadays, these kind of games we can found, like as I mentioned, there's a game called RBR2, that for Red Dead Redemption 2, the most realistic and most high graphics quality having game in nowadays. Uh, if you guys have free time, guys can check on that. And the next thing is called racing category. In these categories, the players can't roam freely. The player area is limited, but they more focused on the vehicles and the vehicle physics, rather than they focusing on the other environmental stuff in these kind of games. And in the racing type games, and especially the environmental stuff, we can't see actually very closer than other games. So they use billboards kind of things for the trees, plants like that. So nothing to worry about the environment. They only focused on the the cars and the tracks only. And there's another special category called RTS. The long term is that called real time strategy. Um, that called this most of these kind of games are kind of governing type. We have to govern the castles, rule the castles, and build towns like that. Like that. We have to maintain some stuff, right? Rather than the other games. And here in the RTS games, we view that game as kind of like god view or something. We are not very close to the player, and not the player graphics are not very good rather than other games. We are viewing in the top down view, and little bit like kind of view. We are viewing that games, and those kind of games are lot more fun to people who like the manage stuff. And I think our Odil also like these kind of games, and he's also a fan of this. So I know. And for the examples of these games, can found Age of Empire. And there's a free open source game as well nowadays called OAD. We can contribute them that project by downloading it and playing that game. But also we can uh, show the bugs and improve the game as well by with the playing time. And the next one is called MMOG, that called multiplayer, massively multiplayer online games. As the name describes, those are the things which the kids mostly play in these times. As examples, the Clash of Clans and PUBG, like kind of things. The huge number of players join online together and chat each other, and lot of most of them play together, and these are the these most of these type of games called multiplayer ones, and those already the online games. And the next one is the player generated content type games. As I saw in our academy as well, our students also like these kind of games. As example, these called Minecraft. In these type of games, there are no limitations, but the graphics is not that much good, but they give unlimited access for the players to do anything. Build any stuff, do more creative things rather than the other games. They more focused about graphics, but these the player generated content type games, they more focused about the players freedom, and they give more space. And if we run through these games, their world is never ended. That called these type. For that technology, we can say PCG type. That called procedural content generation. According to some algorithms, the content, the environment and the players and all the stuff are generated. So this whole infinite game. So this kind of addictive type of game as well. So, and very creative one. We can do more creative stuff by playing these kind of games. And yeah, in other things, there are called action type. Action type that we can say RPG. RPG means role playing games. In those kind of games, we have to maintain a character, and we have to act certain act as certain character and maintain his behaviors. For examples, there are called GTA type game, that's most about a player is a gang type thing. Person. We had to act like them, and even we had to maintain a character, and we had to maintain some qualities according to their character. That called role playing games. And the simulations games as well. They are called car simulators as well as farming simulating games. We can farm, we can drive the farming vehicles and a lot of stuff. There are more fun things. We can actually feel same as the real world stuff using. There are more simulators. Uh, there are joystick type of things, the steering wheels and the brakes, handbrakes. Those are stuff also made physically to feel actual and the players more natural by playing these kind of games. So yeah, and fighting and sports games as well. So let's move on. Uh, for this presentation, my scope is, as I mentioned, there are a lot of categories, a lot of type of game categories, right? And so I can't talk about all of them. So I cater my presentation to this scope. So this is my scope. My scope is third person and single player 3D game, which also a action type. That means the role playing category game. I'm talking about those kind of things. Okay. And as a game developer, if we want to get to build a game, as my point of view, these are the steps we have to follow. So to start game building, we have to get a strong concept. Otherwise, without a strong concept, that game can be stopped in the middle and that not be successful project. And we have to plan well before start the things, and we have to do more stuff about planning. That's the very crucial part, the game designing. And after planning the thing, we can move on the game design. In here, I mean, here, what I mean is, in game designing stuff, we can do I mean, we can do making the assets for the games. Like if our game has characters, humans or animals and vehicles or other stuff, we have to make them, or we have to find them, or we have to fine tune them, and we have to do more stuff. Uh, with the assets, and we had to find the what kind, I mean, the sounds and the music, and we had to find animation. If we don't have animation, we had to create them. Those all stuff we are going in this game design part. And if you are good at drawing things, we can start with drawing concept arts. I don't know you guys know about the things. There are the things called concept art things. Before the games, I mean, before game idea launch, they draw us some stuff about the game. That's called game concept arts. From using those concept arts, that's very useful to start building a game. And the next step is actually the development phase. In this step, in here we are actually start building that game by using the assets that we built I mean, previous step. And here, development phase, we can use game engines like Unity, Unreal, and our student also using Godot, or like kind of things, uh, and coding stuff, and linking all the assets and placing them, and all the stuff, the stuff are doing in this step. After the development develop some kind of level to the game, we have to test it. Otherwise, if we are not tested that game and we deployed that, that can be very not good thing. Because if that game need more performance, and I mean, need more requirements, system requirements to play, if we don't didn't optimize that game, that's not good. So I mean, no one can play that game. So we have to more focus on the optimization part in the testing phase. So when we are building the Android type, I mean, mobile type games, that's very crucial, because the rather than the desktop machines and the other devices, the Android's device performance is very low. I mean, compared to other stuff. So we have to make sure our game should can play on a very low performed mobile device as well. So that's our main goal, to focus on after do some development thing. And after that, we can do the release part. As first, the first step, we can do a beta release to we can give a free access for our players to have play with our game and find the bugs and inform us, and that we can be very good thing for our game. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, in the game, when we are talking about game designing, These are the main things. As I noticed, we have to work on, right? As I mentioned here, we have to work on the static measures like the environmental things, trees, plants, static vehicles, and stuff. And we have to work on animations and game characters, means the player character. And yes, also NPCs. NPC means non-playable characters. I mean, there are AI powered characters in the games, right? The every player character normally in the single player game we can't play. We can only play a one character only at a time. The other characters should act like some kind of normal, like in the real world. They had to do stuff more naturally rather than very robotic thing, right? They has to act more natural, so we have to do more AI kind of thing in these NPC characters. And next, we have to focus on lighting, uh, as the graphic designing stuff and the thing. The lighting things, I mean, do the very crucial thing. Our game can be look very beautiful and uh, very attractive by using these lighting things, lighting concept and the lighting kind of things. We have to work on that, and lighting also do a crucial part for the performance as well. So there are two types of lighting called static and dynamic. So static means the light can be pre-baked and we can use it for the rest of the game. And the dynamic lighting is change within the game. That's the little bit kind of heavy performed type thing. So yeah, that's a little bit we have to concern about lighting as well. And the materials means we have to uh, make materials using textures, and we have to give roughness, metalness, and we have to give the materials for our objects or all the stuff. And yes, then we have to work on the sounds. Without the sounds, our game is not look nice, right? It's a little bit very quiet thing. That's not good. We have to work on sounds as well. And yeah, we have to in the games, yeah, we have to work on the game logic. Without any logic, our game not be very attractive thing. I mean, nothing happens without all the logic. I mean, if the character want to move, that's also game logic. If we have to work on the key bindings, and if we have to check on those key bindings, and we have to act on that. And yeah, the game logic also do the very crucial stuff in the game designing parts. And the last thing is the UI. We have to display some UIs as well. The menus, play a HUD. HUD means player heads on display. Uh, the health bars and the things display thing area. We have to work on that as well. And uh, from all of them, I'll talk about little about some stuff about static measures. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, we can do I mean, two ways. We can find them two ways. Either we can make them from the scratch using these softwares like Blender, Autodesk Maya, 3ds Max, and like kind of 3D design softwares. We can play. I mean, we can work on, design from the scratch. And there's a one more way. There are pre-built designs as well, free version, free open source designs in the Unreal Engine store. If you are using Unreal Engine as the game engine, we can use the Fab. Some of the Unreal Engine users, they posted their creations with free license, so we can have a look and get stuff from there as well. And here in the Sketchfab also we can find the free 3D models and the stuff. You can find it using those kind of things. Yeah. When we talk about animations also, if we can get basic kind of animations using this software called Adobe, this website called Adobe Mixamo. We have to do is we have to upload the player skeletal mesh, which is in T pose as like this. We have to upload the player character to here, and by rigging them automatically, we can find some pre-built animations from there as well. But when we are doing something rather than the basic stuff like the fighting animations and some new technique, new motion types, we have to build them. And I'm not talking about this, the right side. Can upload the 3D model and design from sketch as well the animations like from key point to point, from 1 second to 5 seconds. Likewise, we can adjust the players' legs, arms, and kind of things. And like that, we can do little bit hard way as well. And for massively, big game projects and as well as the latest movies, I know you guys saw the Avatar, the latest movie. They're also using these kind of mocap suits to, capture the real human animations and map them into our character. So using those technologies as well, we can make very unique and very attractive animations for our game. As the basic, as the starter beginner, we can go on this Mixamo thing. It's very useful. For my gaming project as well, we use this Mixamo, and we did a lot more stuff using that. Yeah. So as the characters, uh, we can make the character by sculpting technology, and there are several kind of concept we can use for the character building in the 3D modeling. As well as for the Unreal Engine, they provided the feature called MetaHuman. As you guys can see here, this more realistic, very similar to real human, and we just have to do some similar, some kind of changes according to our need here, and we can use some templates they already provided, and we can start on that template as well. That's more very useful to start working on some project, but rather than making a character from the scratch level. It's very hard to do all the stuff by our own hand. So the metahuman thing is very useful. In the metahuman tool, we can actually capture our human face expressions as well. We just need to have a good quality camera is the only thing. By capturing our face expressions, the character also act as same. Uh, Next, I can yeah, this is the character that I use for my uh, game, which I built by Unreal Engine. This is very realistic, right? Very good graphic thing we can show here. And yes, next. Um, yeah, now I will talk a little bit about my project. that is called Ravo. As I mentioned here, that's mainly based on Sri Lankan ancient history. That's our main focus. And in our project, we plan to create more errors. Like I'll show you in the next slides. What are them? And our main scene, I mean, main error is the which about Ravana. Ravana, I know, I know you guys know about the Ravana king in the history, which mentions. So that's our main goal to develop uh, main level from the this Ravana king. So we guys, not only me and some three of my friends, we start working on in that project in 2022 for a competition. We started it from first as the Android, I mean the Android project, but later I converted it to the desktop, I mean the desktop version as well. Yes, and for as our contestants, there are some already some kind of similar concepts as well in Sri Lanka. I don't know if you guys know about these games. Called the first one is Streta. They also focused about some ancient thing, and I think they more focused on their methodology, not the real history. But in our thing, we more likely to focus on the real history, and we are more into find those real books and things and real facts to apply to our game. That's our main goal. And there's a one more game called Kanchayuddha as well. That's also about king, and there are some kind of stuff as well. If you guys have free time, you guys can watch videos about these games. And these games are built by Sri Lankans company. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, our first version is mobile game. So the mobile game, we use the Unity game engine and the Blender for the I mean designing 3D objects and the stuff. And for the UI part, we use Figma. Those are the main software that we use for our mobile version of our game. So yeah, I'll show a little video about our game that we made for that mentioned competition. I'll talk about that competition later. Yeah, this is our loading page. Uh, yeah, this is the our initial scenario that this video we make to explain about our game to the judging panel. So let's watch this. Yeah, there are maps. I mean, there are maps and the UI stuff, the player character movements, and this player will. I mean, this player is made by our team members. This is not a free asset. This is made by us, and the environment is kind of PCG. Can we use the PCG concept for generate the stuff randomly and place them randomly? and this is how we may start, I mean, doing our development thing in the Unity game engine. This is the interface. Uh, I'll show you. This is our main screen, main menu, and this is what I told about the errors. Uh, yeah, there are a lot of errors we plan to work on. But as the first step, we plan to do the Ravana's error. After completing that, we can move on to the other things. Uh, so these are some UI stuff. I quickly go through this. Um, yeah, we plan to add the leaderboard as well to save the previous game play, and the players who are playing this game can compete by him, I mean, themselves without competing others. So I think, and yeah, these are the stuff that made by us, some armors and the thing, and yeah, these are the menus. This is the player profiles we made, and here you guys can see there's a some kind of build that made by our team member, the Sigiriya thing, I mean Sigiriya that rebuilt by ourselves. Uh, it's not actually completed. We plan to make the castle, Sigiriya castle, in top of that stone. Yeah, these are some armors, the thing we made, and that's about the video. And for the version 2, as I mentioned, I start working on the desktop version for with align with my coursework which I did for my I mean for the degree. There's I did the optional module called Game Engine Architecture. For that module coursework, I plan to make my our games to convert it to desktop version. And for here I use the Unreal Engine. This is very there are a lot of difference between the Unity and the Unreal Engine. You guys can watch later what are the differences. In the Unreal Engine, we can do more realistic stuff, can do more work on the graphics and the things. There are in these days there are a lot of 3D, and there are a lot of realistic films are made by using that Unreal Engine also. This is very powerful engine, but still free, and anyone can use this engine, and Unity as well. Those are all the stuff are free thing. We can download this and have a look, and that's not much hard. In Unreal Engine as well, if we are not more into coding, there are technique called blueprint coding style. That's kind of thing we can just have to make nodes and do the coding. We don't need to type the things. We have to just add nodes, and creating the nodes. By creating the nodes, we can develop a whole game. And there are a lot of guided videos as well. And when you're talking about graphics, we can't believe about the graphic thing. This is very realistic graphics from we can get from using this engine. This is very powerful engine, but and still it's free. So I ask you guys to, if you are guys interested in game design, you guys should have to watch this about, I mean, watch the games and the things that which made by this Unreal Engine. And for yes, the desktop version, I used the some Sketchfab models as well due to time constraints and the things. And I used the Blender to optimize those stuff. And there are bought some. I mean, I downloaded some heavy stuff as well from the Sketchfab and the thing. So I have to optimize them according to my game, and I have to work on the performance as well. So because of that, I used a Blender to optimize the things. And next, let's watch about a little video about the desktop version of this game. Actually, due to time constraint, I not much able to do stuff here. So I able to make some basic things which needed for the grading to our lecturers. So I do this. You guys can watch. And as I mentioned, uh, in here in our game, we plan to make a training ground first to I mean, as a lot of games, the players didn't move to the game levels directly. They guided them to some, I mean, basic movements and how the game things works. So there are some, they need to have some game training ground concept. So here in for my coursework, I built that training ground to get familiar with the basic things about the game, movement thing, and the familiarization with the characters and the environment. That's the main goal about of this making this training ground. Okay, let's watch this quickly. And these are the meta humans that I showed you earlier. Use meta humans for my game. And as you guys see, there's the waterfall and the lake. The whole things I just made by the two plain things, and the 3D look I got by using the materials. That's the powerful power of that material. That's so we have to work on more about materials to make our game more natural and very beautiful. And yeah. For our mobile version, we won some achievements as well. We made that game for the idealized competition which organized by Morotua campus. Idealized competition which organized in 2022, and we secured the open category championship as well India, and we managed to get the 99x companies conceptualist award as well to our game. And that's all for today. And thank you guys for listening to the presentation, and hope you guys enjoy today. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask.